At long last, finally, Obi-Wan is here for all of us to enjoy. The first 2 episodes dropped on Disney Plus. How was it? Is it good? Is it everything that we as Star Wars fans and Obi-Wan Kenobi fans have been waiting for this entire time? Well, I'm going to break down that and a lot more. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the channel once again. I am Robert Storms. If you guys are finding me for the very first time, please do me a favor, smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys can stay up to date on all future content here on the channel. So I just got done watching the first 2 episodes of Kenobi. Let's all celebrate. Star Wars is back. Now, I have some things I really love about these 2 episodes and some things I kind of negative on. I'm going to hit the negative stuff later because I don't want to, front end this video with all negatives because I absolutely loved these 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus. It was everything that I was hoping and then some, and they even threw some surprises out there that even I didn't know they were going to do, and I was like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. So I do want to warn everybody that this video is going to contain spoilers, so if you have not watched the first 2 episodes of Kenobi, then please go watch those 2 episodes and then come back and we will pick up right where we left off. So Obi-Wan Kenobi picks up 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith. Of course, Obi-Wan's in hiding looking over Luke. Leia is on Alderaan with, Bail Organa and his wife and Bria, and all that stuff. So the thing that I loved about this was that it is very grounded and gritty. The thing that surprised me the most about this first 2 episodes was how big of a part Leia was going to be playing in this series, because they've been keeping her away from the marketing material. I wasn't even aware they even casted Leia, and she plays a huge part in this series. And I thought the little girl that they got to play Leia actually did a fantastic job. At first I was like, oh, I didn't know, but by the second episode I'm like, yeah, that's definitely Leia. Like, I can definitely see, like, she is the spawn of Padme Amidala. So I really enjoyed that, and I like how the Inquisitors are using her as bait in order to draw out Obi-Wan, because they know Obi-Wan is still alive. And of course, Bail Organa goes to Obi-Wan and says, hey, can you help me? And that's what causes Obi-Wan to get off the planet, which I really enjoyed. And it makes a lot of sense in retrospect when you think about it, because when you go back to A New Hope and Leia talks to Obi-Wan like she knows him in that recording, like, help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. Like, how would she even know that if she never met him? Like, obviously she has met him at some point in her life. That comes from more than just hearing stories from her father about the Clone Wars, because she literally comes down and is like, help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only choice. Like, she knows this man. So to me, I thought that was brilliant writing on, hey, let's put Leia in this and let Leia be the reason why Obi-Wan has to go on this one final adventure. And then as he's going on that one final adventure, he learns of Anakin still being alive. And that's where the episode 2 kind of leaves off. A lot of stuff that I like about this episode. I thought Owen Lars was fantastic. Having the actor come back, I forgot the actor's name. Give me 1 second. Having the actor come back, Joel Edgerton come back and reprise the role, and he feels like a much older, like, just, I'm kind of tired of every damn thing. It's like, for the love of God, Obi-Wan, just leave us alone. Like you failed his father, like, let's just let him be alone. And I really thought that Joel Edgerton did a really fantastic job portraying an older Owen Lars, much different than we saw from Attack of the Clones, and of course the end little credits scene of Revenge of the Sith. So I really thought that was fantastic. And another thing I really liked was, like, Obi-Wan trying to commune with Qui-Gon and just like help me, Master, like Master Qui-Gon, and he just doesn't communicate with him. He can't communicate with him. And I just like the grounding grittiness of him just hiding, and he's seeing all this stuff going on around him, and he's just like, I'm not gonna get involved. He even tells Bail Organa, he's like, look, man, you get somebody else, bro. Like, I gotta look after Luke. I got this to do. Like, get someone else. And Bail's like, you're the only one I trust, old friend. And that brings him back in. And again, I thought the little girl who plays Leia, I think she did a really fine job in this episode. This episode felt very much like seeing like Obi-Wan back, having that feeling of nostalgia, and you're just like, yes, yes, yes. And it's something special. It really is. It's something special seeing Ewan McGregor return. They had a nice little prologue, going over the events of Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith before the first episode, which I thought was fantastic. And you could just see the kind of world that they're in now, where these Inquisitors are hunting Jedi, and this one Inquisitor, the third sister, who is basically like the main villain in the series so far, she is just like hell-bent on finding Kenobi, because she believes, I don't know if it was sent by Anakin or not, but she implies like, if it was almost like, hey, Vader, I want to be the top. Vader's looking for Obi-Wan. I will find Obi-Wan at any cost. And she's on the search for Obi-Wan, and she comes up with the plan to basically capture Leia, lure him, out, because she doesn't know that Leia is Padme's daughter, but she does know that she's important to Bail Organa, and he was friends with Bail Organa, and that kind of works its way out. So I like all that. But with all good things, ladies and gentlemen, come some negative things. And there is a lot of negative things for me in this episode, unfortunately. But I do want to preface this one final time before I get into the negatives, because I do have quite a few negatives, but in no way do the negatives at all affect how I feel about the two episodes. I still really, really like these two episodes a lot, and I don't want anyone to feel like I dislike it in any way, because it's always good to give positives and negatives, right? To critique certain things. You can like something and still not fully love it and feel like they did some things wrong. And there's a bunch of things, in my opinion, that I feel like this series kind of did wrong, especially toward the end. And again, this is going to be spoiler heavy, so if you guys haven't seen it at this point, please just turn back, because it's going to be very, very spoiler heavy when I get into some of these negatives. One of the first negatives is, what in the hell is wrong with Lucasfilm and Star Wars music? Do they just not like Star Wars music? People don't understand that what made the original Star Wars film so magical was the music, was the score, was that John Williams score. People said, if you go back and watch documentaries, like, yeah, the movie was fine, but man, when you had that John Williams score, it was magical. It was the final missing piece. And they own the rights to the score. Why are they afraid to use Star Wars music in Star Wars properties? This is the third live action series. We had Mandalorian, we had Book of Boba Fett, and now this. And where's the Star Wars score? I mean, if we can have it in Star Wars Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, when Kevin Kiner is scoring that, and he still managed to add John Williams themes to it, like, that feels like Star Wars. Like, where's the Star Wars score? You had it in the trailer. I was expecting this to be like full on, like, oh yes, we're gonna have some of that, and it's like they're just afraid. Like, you do know you own that music, right? Like I don't know if it's a license thing or what, but stop being cheap if that's the case, and get us some Star Wars music. There's no reason why we did not have Star Wars music in this. Another thing Lucasfilm just seems to be afraid of is the fucking crawl. We get a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and they recap episodes 1 through 3 of the prequels, and then like that's it. Like what happened to the bum bum bum? Like why are they afraid of the crawl? Does that go back to you guys don't want to use the music because of licensing or something? I don't understand that. I wish somebody would give me an honest answer why we're not getting crawls and why we're not getting Star Wars music. The crawls I can kind of forgive. I think it's a stupid argument that, well, it's a series, only the movies have crawls and only the main saga films have. I think that is absolutely asinine. I mean, there's video games that have the crawl, there's comic books, there's fucking novels that have the crawls. So I think that's an asinine argument to even have. And again, it goes hand in hand with the music. I can, regardless of the asinine comments of, well, the crawls don't blah 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 series, whatever, I can give up the crawls if you give me the goddamn music, and we're just not getting Star Wars music. Like, what the hell? Star Wars is made of a lot of things. It isn't just one thing, and the music is part of that recipe. And when you keep an ingredient out of the recipe, then your final bacon product, whatever you're making for dinner, if you don't add that ingredient, whatever you spent hours making doesn't taste the same. And that's the way it is with Star Wars. That music is Very important ingredient to what makes Star Wars and Star Wars. And when you take that ingredient out, it's not the way it's supposed to be. So that was one of my main complaints was, why are you guys just afraid of music? There's a few things that bother me within this episode, and it mostly happens toward episode 2. One, the actress who plays third sister, Inquisitor Reva, third sister, something about her just seems off. Like she doesn't seem like she's a Star Wars character. She seems like she's almost in a different property altogether. Just something the way she acts, something the way she carries herself. It feels off. Like I don't know if she's like overacting, or maybe she's not taking it like a Star Wars there's something about her that just seems off. And every time she's on screen, I have a hard time thinking like, oh yeah, she's a fucking Inquisitor. This chick's bad. Like I played Jedi Fallen Order. I watched Star Wars Rebels. I've seen the Inquisitors in action. I have seen Inquisitors, right, before, like female black Inquisitors in other mediums, right? And they feel menacing. They feel threatening. This looks like a chick who's basically pretending to be something. Like she's pretending to be a Star Wars movie. She's pretending to be an Inquisitor. Just something about it seems off. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe you guys can put your finger on it, but something just feels off. Another thing that bothered me, both of these things come toward the end of the episode, and that is she apparently kills the Grand Inquisitor. Like, the fuck? Third sister, who's basically kind of been like a rebel within the Inquisitors. Like, she doesn't do what she's told or anything, and the Grand Inquisitor is just kind of fed up with it. And toward the end of the second episode, like, she just like guts him. Like, she just sticks her lightsaber right in his gut and like apparently kills the Grand Inquisitor, which I'm like, that's kind of like, what just happened here? Because last time I checked, the Grand Inquisitor died in the first season of Rebels. Like, the Grand Inquisitor was killed at the end of season 1 of Rebels. So how, like, that's a major continuity and timeline problem. Like, why would you even go do that? I can get over the Inquisitor not looking the right way because, that Inquisitor is an alien race that Obi-Wan visited their planet to fight General Grievous in Revenge of the Sith. Their people have this very long head, right? I can forgive that detail. I don't like it because if George Lucas was there, George Lucas had eyes for detail. George Lucas always made sure everything was detailed. Like, he would spend hours on these designs. To me, they just slapped white paint on him, made his eyes look like, boom, they're the Grand Inquisitor, right? Which I don't like, but whatever, But she kills this dude in the second episode, which totally, like that's a paradox because he literally dies at the end of season 1 of Rebels, unless somehow he doesn't die from the lightsaber wound to the fucking stomach, and somehow they like use machine parts or something, and he kills her in the final episode or something. But that just throws me off. Another thing that throws me off, at the final episode, she tells Obi-Wan that Darth Vader is still alive, and she says Anakin is still alive. That threw me off because, as far as I know, Anakin Skywalker's dead. Nobody even knows that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker except Palpatine. He's the only one. There's people that assume, at this point, Ahsoka assumes that Anakin is Darth Vader, but it doesn't make any sense. Obi-Wan knows Anakin is Darth Vader, right? They found that out in Revenge of the Sith, that Anakin Skywalker's dead. Only Darth Vader is alive now. Right? So by her saying Vader's still alive, it has the same effects because Obi-Wan will be like, shit, Darth Vader's still alive? But then she goes, that's right, Anakin Skywalker's alive. You don't need to say Anakin Skywalker to get that effect from Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan is very aware who Darth Vader is and realized that's the mantle he took when he went over on Palpatine's side. A second thing is that nobody other than Palpatine knew Darth Vader's identity other than Yoda, Bail Organa, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. The people that were in that spot right there knew at the end of Revenge of the Sith who Vader's true identity was. The Inquisitors did not know, Darth Vader made it very quite clear Anakin Skywalker is dead. He made that very quite clear. So this chick who killed the Grand Inquisitor, they're trying too hard to make this girl important. They're trying too hard to make the audience feel like this chick is so important. The third sister is so important, and she just her acting is not good. They're giving her lines that just don't make sense. They kill the Grand Inquisitor to try to put her off as like the top dog, and they're like, yeah, she knows Darth Vader's Anakin Skywalker. No one knew that. Like, the hell, you can literally just say, yeah, you know what, Darth Vader's still alive, and then Obi-Wan just like, shit, and then end black. Obviously, he's not gonna say shit, but have that look in his eyes, like, oh crap, shit just went down. So I don't know. Those are some of my complaints just watching it. Again, I don't want anybody to think that it takes away from my enjoyment of the first 2 episodes. I really, really enjoyed it, but at the same time, I do have complaints about it, which it's healthy to like have complaints and want to be able to have a dialogue and debate certain things. So many people just dive in and like without really thinking and just be like, yeah, man, it's fucking great. I think there's always room for a discussion, and if I see things that I personally feel need to be called out, it needs to be called out, because this is something that's been happening a lot. You know, I did to Boba Fett, then it's only fair that I do it to Obi-Wan. When they do things right, you acknowledge that. But when you do things wrong, you have to acknowledge that as well. Otherwise, they're never going to get this stuff right. Lucasfilm, stop being afraid of Star Wars music. It's a very important ingredient to your recipe. Anyway, guys, that is all I have. Obi-Wan, have you seen the first 2 episodes? Be sure to leave those comments in the comment box below. Smash that like and subscribe on. And until next time, everybody, I am Robert Storms, and that is my opinion.